This video is brought to you by America First Insight. Help support the growing conservative movement by becoming a member today. And if you want to support this channel, you can also use the code REAL when becoming a member. Thank you and enjoy the video. If I am being completely honest, I was not planning on making this type of video whatsoever because I thought the concept of this grand conspiracy that Kirk was killed by Israel or whatever was such a ridiculous concept, even from the get-go, that nobody would take it seriously. Like, yeah, some people would claim that's what happened for a couple of days, but then it would die out because that's how conspiracies usually go. Like, yeah, we don't know anything right away. People are grieving. Fine, go ahead. That's one thing. But after a couple of days, focus on the real issue, which we now know are these NGOs, these corrupt groups, indirectly or directly funding these radical organizations that potentially, we don't know for sure, but it's looking more likely by the day, they were involved in the shooting. And they're radical, they're violent, they want to do even more of this stuff. Focus on that. That should be the focus of everybody right now. Like, oh, we have a huge problem here. There's like a network in Utah alone. There's a huge network there. What do you think's going on in Oregon, Washington, California? But no, these people, they're causing such a big distraction that nobody's talking about the NGOs or barely talking about it. Instead, they're either believing this crap and looking more to the conspiracy shit and digging even further for this grand conspiracy, wasting everybody's time, or people that are trying to figure out what's going on with the NGOs, they're forced to go after this crap, to debunk it. It's a giant distraction, and I'm sick and tired of saying nothing about it because it's insane. And it's a giant distraction for the real issue here. These radical leftist groups that are literally saying, we need more of this. We need more violence. And they're getting supported indirectly or directly by these giant NGOs. So let's go over this grand conspiracy crap and debunk it once and for all. And again, we should be using Occam's razor. For those that don't know, in a nutshell, it means usually the simplest explanation is usually the correct one. All right, so that means most of the time, if there's something going on, the simplest answer is usually right. Like if you lose your keys in the house, the simple answer is you misplaced it. And the insane, unlikely scenario is, well, there was a robbery that happened last night and I didn't even know about it. And then there's no proof of it at all. That's the unlikely bullshit scenario. That's just an example. And in this case, the simplest answer is this was a radical leftist that had a transgender boyfriend or whatever, and he became so radical and potentially involved in these radical groups in Utah, so much so that he killed Kirk because he thought he was a fascist, a transphobe. Guys, that's the simplest answer. And right now, that's like a 99.9% chance of what happened here. It was a radical leftist that wanted Kirk dead. That's not an insane thing to say. The other scenario, meanwhile, is so convoluted. It's such a scam. It's like, really? Nobody with 5 IQ points should believe any of this bullshit. But sadly, there's a bunch of people, and it's growing by the day, that really believe that's what happened here. And it really started because of Candace Owens pushing her bullshit. I have no clue what happened to Candace Owens. She's lost her damn mind the last year and a half. And now, really the last 2 weeks. She has gone full schizophrenic, full conspiratard. Like, really? She started this shit show because she alleged, I think on Monday, that Charlie Kirk was threatened by Bill Ackman and these other pro-Israel people in the Hamptons a couple weeks ago, okay? And that Israel staged an intervention for him, and they threatened him, and he felt blackmailed, okay? That's what they were claiming right away, and that's when the shitstorm started. That's why people began to believe it was Israel doing it because Kirk was becoming more skeptical of Israel, which, let's be clear about this. It sounded like, yes, he was probably becoming more skeptical. He was probably thinking to himself, just like 95% of people, hey, you're bombing these civilians for no reason. Like, that's wrong. Which is just like, that's like the average position in America now. Like, they've gone too far. Does that mean he's anti-Israel or he's about to bash them? No. It just means that, hey, maybe we should stop this unnecessary violence. And that strike against Iran a couple weeks ago was stupid. Maybe we should stop doing that. And somehow that was enough for Israel to stage an intervention and threaten him and blackmail him? Really? That's the conspiracy Candace Owens was pushing. And Bill Ackman and Seth Dillon, they debunked this nonsense right away. Now you may say, well, they could be lying. Okay, here's the difference. They actually got receipts. Like Bill Ackman. Alright, Bill Ackman, he clarified the event was not held at his house. Alright? And this was not a secret event. He said no one signed an NDA. And anybody was allowed to join. And he actually proved that, with receipts, that no, this was not an intervention, this was not a conspiracy. He could be lying. Fine, sure, maybe. But not only that, Seth Dillon, he literally got a text from Kirk asking him, do you want to join this retreat in the Hamptons? Or not Seth Dillon asking Kirk. This was actually an event scheduled by Kirk himself. Alright? He planned it as some kind of influencer retreat to figure out messaging for certain issues. Not just Israel, by the way. People at the meeting said they talked about immigration, the economy, trade, and yes, Israel was brought up because it is a hot topic for the right. But it was not a screaming match. It was not this conspiracy, oh, we're going to blackmail you. No. It was a normal event that a lot of people on the right and influencers do, like, basically, like, once a month, if we're being honest. Like, this is just a normal influencer retreat, trying to figure out messaging, talk to each other, see what's up, work on collabs. That's normal. A lot of people do that. But Candace Owens was pumping this as, well, did you know that he was threatened and blackmailed, and that this was intervention he had no clue about? When in reality, it was Kirk that set it up. It was Kirk's idea. He was the one that invited people like Seth Dillon. So again, that alone, this entire theory falls apart. And even Candace Owens is now backtracking and saying, well, I never claimed that Israel did it. Oh, see, I never once said it was them. Meanwhile, the first thing she did when Kirk died was talk about Israel. And a couple days later, say, well, actually, there was a secret meeting where they blackmailed Kirk. What does that sound like to you? Well, what do you think people are going to think about? They're going to think, oh my gosh, Israel did it. And that's exactly what happened. And this is where things go off the rails completely, because at least this was half true. Like, there was an influencer retreat, there was a meeting, and there might have been some controversial stuff talked about. But her story was immediately debunked. She could not refute it. And instead, she moved the goalposts. And ever since then, this shitstorm with conspiracies have gotten insane. Like, you have people claiming that the camera behind Kirk that was aiming towards him, that was actually a secret gun. Yeah, you had people saying that. They had people saying the cameras around him were actually secret guns that were used to kill Kirk, and that somebody in the crowd had a tiny miniature gun that nobody could see because somebody was, picking his nose or whatever. I'm not exaggerating. And like the camera stuff, when people easily debunk that, like, no, it's not a gun, it's a camera. Their first thing was to claim that, oh, that camera has the real evidence that Kirk was actually shot from behind, and that this guy that nobody knew about beforehand, he secretly took the camera, which this is the video, right? He took the camera quickly, and he took the SD card out of it, or at first they claimed it was ammo, but there was like, no, that's an SD card. And they were claiming the footage vanished, they destroyed it, there's no proof of it. Well then, TPUSA clarified, This is not a random person. This was somebody on Kirk's team. And they're saying, well, they saw a lot of people taking stuff in the booth. Like, that's what happened. We have video proof of that. Like, yeah, people are taking shit from the booth, and these are expensive cameras. So, there's two reasons he got the camera quickly, and he acted kind of weird. A, it was just minutes after he got shot, so yeah, of course he's acting like a bit sketched out, like, wait, what's going on here? I gotta look around, make sure he's not a shooter or whatever. That's the first thing. Secondly, he's getting the SD card and the camera away from there because he doesn't want anybody stealing it. He doesn't want any person in the crowd to go take it because it's an expensive camera. And thirdly, it has potential evidence of somebody in the crowd doing it, because at that point, we had no clue what was going on. At first, including myself, we all thought that it was some guy in the crowd that shot Kirk. But we now know, no, that's not what happened. But still, that was the original assumption. And that camera does face the crowd. So maybe caught something. And he quickly got the SD card out. And the first thing he did was give it to the FBI. That's what happened. But at first they were claiming it was a gun that actually killed Kirk. But then they realized that was so batshit crazy, like, that there's no way. But then they said, well, they took the SD card out because it proves what happened to Kirk was actually a gun from behind. There was a different angle, and that's why they didn't want to see, they wanted nobody to see the footage. But it turns out, no, that's not what happened. Again, Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is they saw people stealing shit from the booth. This is a very expensive camera, and it may have evidence to prove that somebody in the crowd was involved or shot Kirk, so they took it. That's the simplest answer. But at this point, like, okay, this has gone off the rails far enough. We were talking about guns inside the cameras and that they were angled perfectly and the cameras were actually stolen. We had no video evidence, even though we do. It's like, who cares with this camera? We have like 100 different angles across the area, like all facing Kirk, they all show the same thing. Well, who cares with this one camera? You know why they haven't released it? Because it's 8K footage of Kirk getting shot and killed. Why do you want to see that? Now, Candace Owens, out of nowhere, alleged, yeah, I actually saw the footage. And she claims that the video is not gruesome at all, and from that angle, shows no blood whatsoever. And that she added that she saw no sign of bullet exiting from behind Kirk. And of course the conspiracy people went crazy with that! They're saying this is proof that the shot came from behind, even though if it came from behind, you would still see the bullet. You would see it enter him, right? They didn't. You notice that? She never said she didn't see an exit wound or whatever. That means she also didn't see anything. And that it kind of proves that the bullet came from in front of him. And you would probably still see the blood. I think she's full of shit in that part. That was not gruesome. Yeah, you're going to see blood. You're going to see blood gushing out. And people are saying, well, that's proof that the bullet is fake or whatever, and that he didn't get shot from the front. What? Even Candace Owens admits that there's nothing. There's nothing that shows an exit wound, which we'll get to in a second. But even then, once you've seen a bullet flying and that you would see something behind him, she didn't. That's what she's not admitting to. She saw nothing. But instead, she spins this as, well, we didn't see the exit wound. So that's causing more confusion. When in reality, the simplest answer is, when he got shot in the neck, it ricocheted in his body and then it didn't come out. Which I know, it is a powerful gun, I get that. Like, people were saying, well, that it should have had an exit wound. Maybe, sure. But it may have ricocheted off of something. I don't know. Like, there's so many simple answers that these people, they're not even considering. They're just saying, no exit wound. Oh, okay. That means you didn't see anything either. Going from behind. Meaning you just proved the story that there was a gunman in the roof. Because that was the original conspiracy also. They were claiming there's a gunman behind him and that's where he got shot. And then the camera behind him was also a gun that was pointed at him. Come on, guys. Really? This is getting crazy. But the thing is, it's gotten even worse. because in the last 24 hours, okay, we have been getting, like, beyond just paranoia. We're getting to, like, beyond even schizophrenia. Because, okay, that's one thing, like, we didn't see the footage, whatever, okay? I don't want to see it for obvious reasons, but fine, whatever, that's one thing. They have got it even more crazy, as now, they are alleging that Tyler Robinson is not the shooter because of a video of him from 3 years ago. This guy right here, this lunatic, he is claiming that, well, this is Tyler Robinson in 2022 when he was 19 years old. And he's claiming that this video is proof that he's not a radicalized trans activist. Because, and I quote, he doesn't sound like it. Excuse me, what? In fact, this guy goes on to say, no, he doesn't even, he sounds like a redneck from the mountains. He's a hillbilly. Hold up, what? Your evidence now is Tyler Robinson was not the shooter because of a video of him from 3 years ago. Maybe, and I have a simple explanation for this too, maybe this was before Robinson really became a radical. Even then, who cares? Like, who cares what his voice sounds like? That doesn't prove shit. Like, even his family admitted in the last couple of years, he went batshit crazy. He became a radical on a lot of issues. Even his best friend said that. One of his friends said that. He was becoming more and more radical. So even then, a video from 3 years ago is irrelevant. But even then, that doesn't even prove anything. Like, who cares? Who gives a shit about some random video of him from 3 years ago? Like, really? A lot can happen in 3 years. Maybe this was before he was into the transgender stuff. I don't know. It's just crazy, and they keep going on and on about it. Now you got this video. Oh, look at this. This is the first video I've seen from this angle. And they're claiming that it's proof that there's a gunman on the other side, because, like, the Tyler Robinson would be the left of them, in this video at least, right? The video would come from the, behind them, I should say, in this video. Well, they're saying that this is proof there's a gunman on the other side, which would be behind Kirk, because these people are crouching behind the railing. What? They're crouching because nobody knows where the gunman is at. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. Oh, people are gonna be so worried about where the gun. Oh, we gotta quickly, like, figure out where the gunman is and quickly figure it out. No, people would not do that. They're going to immediately get down and drop to the ground because they have no clue. Even then, the sound would have echoed. Like, nobody would have really known where their shooter was. I mean, we're just like, what are we doing here? What the hell are we even doing? Like, this video proves nothing. It just shows people getting down because nobody knows what the hell is going on. People are running. They're getting the hell out of there. But what do you expect them to calculate exactly where the bullet came from? No. That's how people operate. This is just, again, it's schizophrenia. That's what this is. It's pure schizophrenia. It just keeps going on, and now they're saying the guy that asked him the question right before he got shot, he actually might have been involved. Because he asked a question. He had the Q question. And listen, maybe there should be an investigation into this guy because, you know, it's like he asked a transgender question and they got shot. Like that, fine. But even then, there's video proof of him, like, looking terrified and petrified, like, what the hell just happened? You don't act like that when somebody dies in front of you. All right, if you didn't know about that. Like, you don't act like that. He was, like, stunned. And it's like, well, maybe the reason that he was shot when he was answering a transgender question was maybe Robinson was waiting for a question like that was going to be asked 100%. So he just waited for the perfect question to shoot him. That's the simplest answer. But oh no, he actually gave somebody a cue. It was a cue question to kill him. Like, really? Guys, this is a distraction. Stop. And it just keeps going on and on and on. And now we're to a point now where Candace Owens is admitting that she is not going to Charlie Kirk's funeral, saying there's no way she's going to go because it was organized by, quote-unquote, the feds, and that she plans to go visit Kanye West. Man, what a great friend. Like, Candace Owens' entire argument is, I'm a best friend of Kirk's. You know, I'm his best friend. So much so that you're not going to his funeral because the feds organized it, and you plan to go to visit Kanye West, who lost his damn mind. Guys, this whole conspiracy stuff, it was a giant grift. These people have lost their damn minds. Seriously? Kirk's supposedly your friend and you're not going to go to his funeral because the feds are there? Really? This is a mental illness. It was a giant scam. It was a giant distraction to distract from the real issue. These NGOs. I'm done talking about this. I just wanted to expose how insane this stuff is, like, really. And there's, like, people now alleging the videos that people have of Kirk getting shot, that's fake as well. Yeah, we're to the point now where they're now claiming the video evidence they were using not even 10 minutes ago to prove their second shooter conspiracy or whatever, it's actually fake. Those videos are all AI. We have hundreds of angles of random people in the crowd because that's what happens. Every Kirk event, there's people recording shit. Bro, they're all AI generated. They're all fake. They're all selectively picked. Even though hundreds of people uploaded videos of different angles, what they saw, it's all a giant conspiracy. We're done. We are done with this nonsense. Ignore these people. Just don't give them any attention. Because we've got to a point where these people really believe that this was a grand conspiracy by Israel or some foreign agency, or hell, some people are claiming that the feds did this. Like, oh, this was the FBI's doing or whatever. Just stop. This conspiratard bullshit needs to stop now. We're to a point of not just schizophrenia. It's beyond even, it's worse than that. I can't believe I'm saying that. That's how bad this is. These people have convinced themselves that it's no other explanation other than the feds or Israel. Again, being critical of the feds, that's a good thing. Being critical of Israel when they do bad shit, that's a good thing. But really, this is making everybody else look like complete morons. Stop it. The evidence they got is bullshit. It's just speculation upon speculation, even on fake assumptions. It's all horseshit. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.